Hello, Juliet.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Very, very happy to finally, for the second time, meeting you.
Second time, yes.
Exactly. Because you were at the event we organized a few days ago.
Yes.
And I've known only you before from your bags,
Yes.
the famous Bobo Bags. And can you introduce yourself? For those that don't know you, we are in Accra. So for those that don't know, we are very happy to finally get to meet you in person. So can you share a bit more about you? Who are you?
A bit more about me.
Yes.
Okay. So you already know my name.
Yes.
Juliet Somuah.
All right.
I'm the founder of Bobo Bags.
Okay.
Okay. I also work an 8 to 5 job.
Okay, so you have both. Interesting.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm an enforcement officer.
And
For taxes.
Oh wow! people must hate you.
Oh, well, unfortunately.
Really?
Not me, but I mean, we won't go there.
Exactly. The job is not easy.
Yes.
Enforcement officer?
Yes,
Oh really?
I am.
Okay.
This is my passion.
Okay.
Bobo Bags is my passion.
Okay.
I have been doing this for 4 years. I've been doing Bobo Bags for 4 years. I've been doing fashion for over 10 years.
That's interesting.
Yes.
So we'll get into a bit more in details after that. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
What else should we know about you?
I'm a proud mom.
Okay. Yeah. Congratulations. Amen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And does that impact and influence? Because that means you have a lot to manage generally.
Yes, actually, I do. And it also motivates me.
Okay.
Yes.
In which way?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to have an 8 to 5 job, to be a mom, to manage Bobo Bags. But somehow you get it all done.
Okay.
Yes.
That's going to be interesting to explore a bit more.
Yes.
And the first question I would have for you, generally, that I ask in this podcast, because the idea is for us to get to know you in a different way. If you were to sum up Bobo Bags by one product or one creation or content or video and one number, what number would it be and what creation would it be? If you were to sum up your brand.
Sum up my brand?
Yeah. In one piece of creation. It can be a content, it can be a product, it can be anything else. What would you choose if it were to ask you to choose?
Unique.
Yeah.
That's the word I would
That's
use.
the word that you want.
Yes, unique.
Yeah.
I'll use 100.
100?
Yes.
What is the
100 over
word?
100.
Okay. Okay. Tell me why this number? Why 100?
I mean, you've seen Bobo
No,
Bags.
100. Oh, okay. That's what you mean.
Yes, but more also the inspiration, the journey, how I got to this point.
Okay.
You know, because I was into making other fashion accessories
Before.
But last year,
okay,
I decided I'm focusing only on Bobo Bags.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
And that's maybe part of your success, because I know a lot of fashion and creatives generally try to do a lot of different things.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit more? What was the first thing you designed or made fashion-wise?
Okay,
How
that
did you
was
came
in
into fashion?
2010.
2010, okay, yeah,
Yes,
long time ago.
So I started making beaded bags.
Beaded bags,
Yes,
okay, interesting.
and there were these really known stores. They are still here today, fashion stores I was delivering to.
Okay.
At the time I started, it wasn't common.
Okay, it wasn't very
It wasn't common. And I was able to make the 3-dimensional shapes, different shapes, triangular, the rectangular, make my own beaded brooch for the bags.
Okay.
It was just very, very unique.
Okay,
And
interesting.
I did that for a couple of years. It was also good business.
Okay.
Yes. But I am one person that I like to focus on only what is unique. The moment the market becomes saturated, I stop.
Why?
Yes. You see a lot of it now. And
Of beaded bags, you mean?
yes.
Okay.
You see a
You
lot
feel
of
like
it
this is now common. It's not as
It's not exactly. The time I was making them, it was very unique. Even when it started catching on and other designers were also making, mine were still standing out. But it just gets to a point, it feels like it's just too much. And I asked myself, what else can I make that is unique?
Okay, that's very interesting. So you never think about, I don't know, building upon a brand and becoming a household name for this type of product?
Not for something that is very common. I just don't work that way. So my brand initially
Yes.
was Julie Jovel Fashion.
Julie
Julie
Jovel.
Jovel.
Okay.
You're French, so
Yeah.
you understand Jolie and Nouvelle.
Okay.
So that's like,
Jolie Nouvelle.
yes,
Okay.
a combination of two French words, Jolie and
And
Nouvelle.
Nouvelle. So yeah, that's
So
pretty and
creating
new.
a new from Julie. Yes.
Okay.
So it's always been trying to create something very unique
And new.
and new. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I needed to create something that's, I mean, it's going to take a while
Yeah.
for it to be, what's the right word, for lack of a better word, copied.
Copied. Okay. To be imitated.
Imitated.
Ah.
Thank you.
So until people are
Yes.
able to imitate you,
Yes.
this is where you're
I
comfortable.
needed to find something that is just going to take a lot for it to be imitated. Because
So that's the thing you want to make,
yes,
something that is
yes,
so unique, that it's hard to copy.
Exactly. Yes,
But
it brings me joy.
It brings
and
you joy.
satisfaction.
Okay.
Yes, I'm content doing that.
That's really what makes you, I might say, proud.
Yes.
But aren't you also in it for the money at some point? Because when you do that, you might some point lose the money that you make. Because even if other people do it, you still are probably the one that was doing the most money out of it. Don't you feel like you
not
leave some money on the
necessarily.
table?
Not necessarily. If you find, for me, it was about finding that one thing
Yeah.
that makes me stand out, that makes the brand stand out, and building on that. So I'm in a space where even if it's imitated, I mean, I know it's going to take a while, but even if it's imitated, I have been able to build so much on it that it's fine. So I'm thinking that was also a motivation to quit making some fashion accessories at a point, because I felt I hadn't made my mark.
Oh, okay. So you even before the beaded bags, you were doing fashion accessories before that.
So the beaded bags were the first fashion
it's-
accessories,
you
and
did.
then moved to mesh clothing,
Mesh clothing. Okay.
footwear. So
Okay.
these gladiator sandals. I don't know if you know the Charlotte Street Art Festival.
Charlotte Street.
Street Art Festival. It just happened this past
No, I didn't know about this festival.
weekend.
Okay.
It happens every year in August,
Okay.
and I was always there with my mesh products. People want to purchase it and wear it during the festival because it's just very,
Yeah, it goes
you
with the
know,
vibe.
Exactly. But as I said, if I feel it hasn't made its mark and that market becomes saturated, I move on.
Interesting. So maybe we need to get a bit more into why did you get started? What was the first thing you made? Because you make all of this with your hands, right?
Yes.
So what got you into this making things with your hands, or initially?
I have always loved that. I have always loved doing stuff with my hands.
Okay, since you were little?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. I always say, well, African parents.
Yeah.
If if some of us had the opportunity, we would have studied art, visual arts in school. We would have, but I tell your African parents you want to go study
Yeah,
art.
no,
and
that's not a real job for them.
let's hear what they have to say.
So since you were little, you were always like good
Very
at making
artistic.
very artistic
Yeah,
of making.
drawing.
Oh,
Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
Okay, drawing.
Using, doing collage.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I love that.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I imagine, that was never considered an option.
No,
as something you
for
would.
for a hobby, yes.
Okay, so everybody was okay. Like, oh, you can do that on the side on the
Yes, for a
weekends.
hobby, you're fine. But as a main thing,
So that's why you went to rather accounting.
tax, yes.
So
all of that.
what was the first time you made something and decided to sell it then? Because there is
First time I made something,
and decided to sell it because a lot of
I
people
should have been like 10.
10.
Yes, I
Okay.
made these beautiful cards
Okay.
with, the gift wrappers.
Okay.
When you cut them into little pieces. It looks like glitter.
Yes.
Yes, and that time there was no glitter glue.
Okay.
So I kind of made my own
Glitter glue.
and drew on it and just decorated it and actually sold.
But interesting. So,
these pieces. Yes.
can you tell me why you decided to sell those? Because I think there is a difference between creatives that makes things for themselves
Yeah.
and those that really make them for other people.
Well, it wasn't a plan to sell. I was in class.
Okay.
And
You made it.
I made it, and people were interested.
And people wanted to buy it.
My friends were actually interested in paying to get it.
To get it.
Yes.
To offer it to people.
Yes.
Okay, so the market basically drawn you into it.
And I have always also loved business. Let me just put it out there.
Okay,
so it's a combination.
Okay, so when do you mean you like business? When you were little, how did you saw that you like business?
Well, my mom brought these pencils, really nice pencils, shiny, shiny pencils.
Yeah.
I was in class 3. And I sold all of them. so that was my first.
That's interesting. You sold the pencils?
Yes, the pencils.
Why?
Because I could.
You saw people wanted them? That's interesting.
People wanted them. They hadn't seen pencils like that. So I'm like, okay, you can.
You want that?
You want it? You pay for it.
Great. Okay. That's interesting. Were your parents in business also?
Yes.
Yes. Maybe. So you have seen people sell things.
Yes. And I have spent time at my mom's shop.
Okay.
So many times when I was little,
and
I could see the transaction
happening.
Yes, it was just interesting. I'm like, okay.
So that came from there.
Yes.
And that's interesting. What was your mom selling?
My mom was dealing in second-hand clothing. That's what we call it.
Already, okay.
Bills of it. They were actually store rejects.
Okay.
Yes, built, and she gets bills of that, containers of that, and then she sells them.
Okay.
She's done that for over 40 years.
40 years?
Yes.
So she still does today?
Right now, no.
Not anymore. Okay. 40
Yes.
years of doing that. Yes. Because that's quite competitive as a business, if I'm not mistaken.
When she started, it wasn't. Even 10 years ago, it still wasn't.
Really?
That's competitive. If you've done it for that long, you already have your clientele, your goodwill, all of that. So, it was a very
But you have seen your mother all along, like negotiating, convincing people to buy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And
people paying before the things are even in and all that.
And
and coming from other countries. That was also another thing I was very impressed about. Coming from other countries, people coming from other countries to come and buy.
When you were little, you were seeing other people from other countries coming to your mom.
Yes.
Okay, so from which country is interesting?
I remember from Niger, from Nigeria.
Okay, they were coming all the way to your mom's to buy.
Yes, because she had a good grade. A very good grade, store rejects, so very good grade. Perfect things, nothing wrong with them. Yes.
So you have seen both the attraction and the effort on, I might say, grade, quality, etc.
Yes, exactly. And maybe that's why, it's part of why I really, quality is very important to me. Very, very, very important to me.
Since then you have experienced that.
Yes.
And may I ask if your father was a creative one? No? What was your father?
He was a marine engineer, so I would say...
He was making things.
Yes.
That counts almost. Not like a glitter glue or anything like that, but it counts. Yes. Okay, very interesting. So basically you started selling things and making things.
Exactly.
And at one point you started to say, okay, let's sell the cards. And so when you did the card when you were little, so it was never something that you wanted to do like full-time as a job, make things and sell them?
I didn't think about it in that way when I was younger.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say when I was in my first year in the university.
Yeah.
Because I remember my long vacation during my first year. I actually went to a culinary institution.
In a what?
A culinary institution.
Culinary.
Yes,
to make food.
To learn how to make food.
Okay.
To bake, and just learn that skill. So as I said, it's always been with me. It doesn't matter what it is. So far as I can use my hands. Yes.
Okay, so creation is very close.
Yes.
From making things to cooking. Often, generally, when people are very creative.
And my whole time in school, I was making food for
other people.
I was taking orders. Yes. After
you were doing this business too. Okay, so yeah, you were always making things, so it's not necessarily
Yes.
creative things, but
Yes.
food was also a business you were doing.
Yes, exactly. Because I will make it. I will make it.
Uh-huh.
Despite the fact that there were recipes, I love to test. So if
After being paid through their ANKA Pay payment link, the money is immediately available in your ANKA wallet in a stable currency. You can then easily withdraw it from your ANKA dashboard in the currency of your choice.
if I'm supposed to use a normal wheat flour, I would use another option, see how it turns out. You know,
And
just
even then, you wanted to innovate.
exactly. So I did innovate. I was able to whatever I learned, turned it into something new.
Different. Okay.
Yes.
So why not focus on the food then and then go rather on the fashion? What made you
What
go
made
to
me
the fashion?
stop the food?
Yeah, and go
No,
to the
fashion was always there.
Okay, yeah.
Fashion was always
Always on
there.
the side.
Yes, with the food, I just didn't have time anymore.
It's more time consuming.
Yeah,
You think
it
that
is.
fashion?
It is time consuming if you are doing it alone.
True,
Yes,
definitely.
And I hadn't gotten to the level where
I could hire people.
Yes, exactly.
But so that's now the moment interesting. So these bags. So this is the first one you said that you made.
Yes, this is the very first bag.
Oh,
The very first bag.
So this one you made it by yourself. What was the story that got you into this type of bags then?
Okay, so I actually started with work.
Yes.
My 8 to 5.
Okay, so
Being
as a tax enforcer, yeah.
stressed all the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to combine that with being a mom and being a fashion enthusiast and being a fashion designer and all of that. It was just tiring. So I made it a point to always take a vacation.
Okay, very good. That's a healthy habit.
Yes. And anytime I left work, I gave myself that break from family, from work, from everything. I got inspired. Maybe at the end of the podcast, I'll show you a picture and you'd understand. So you will see me standing under something that looks like a very big-sized Bobo bag in Dubai.
Oh, you were in Dubai.
And then in Bali,
yes, they have this.
They
thing,
also really
this thing that is like
for them a whole lot of things, and they use that as a tourist attraction. Sometimes it's a giant hand molded with rattan, which is very similar to cane.
So
very similar to cane.
This is made in what?
This is cane.
Cane.
Yes, we don't have rattan here. We have cane.
What is cane? I don't know the difference between. I know rattan is almost like wood.
And very flexible. Cane is same, but not as flexible as rattan. So with cane, you have to be quick about using it.
Okay.
When
so
you
when it's cut, when you apply it?
When you acquire it,
yes.
Like when the process is done for it to be used, it has to be quick. So because it can break sometimes during Hamatan when it's very dry. Yes, you can't really work with it if it's been there, lying there for a bit.
Too long, yeah.
Yes. So cane is very similar to rattan, but has its limitations. But once you use it to produce at the right time, it's very durable. This bag is over 4 years old.
Already, yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And even the leather that you put on it is very, I think you made an effort also on the leather.
Exactly. There is nothing wrong with it. Very durable, very strong. Nothing will happen to it. And that is what I love about creating Bobo bags. It will last forever.
Yes. You're confident that it's going to be items that last very long.
Yes.
And that can be worth the price, then I imagine.
Exactly.
And my key question, so basically you were in Dubai and you saw something.
Yes, so I was inspired in the space of 3 years. Every time I traveled, I got inspired. And it was pointing me in the direction of a Bobo bag. Yes, so as I said, I'll show you and you understand. So 2017, I was in Kenya and Dubai.
Yeah.
2018, I was in Dubai again. Which other country? I don't remember. 2019, I was in Dubai again, and then Bali.
Okay. Oh, you went
And
all the
then-
way to Bali. Oh,
yes.
then went.
And then I came back and I started figuring out how to make a Bobo bag, this idea that I have.
Okay.
And
So you
trying
started
to-
testing it yourself.
Yes. Trying to find help, find experts in that field, people who work with cane.
Okay. So
Yes,
from the beginning, you wanted to do
crossover.
cane. You didn't try to do routine like the others. Did.
No, because we don't have rattan
Don't
here,
have it, yeah.
so I wasn't going to try it.
Makes sense.
Using rattan. We have cane. I knew cane would be the closest thing to rattan. Yes, and over here, cane work is a big thing. Cane furniture, you see it a lot.
Yes, outside.
Exactly.
Oh, so you went for this idea.
I went to all these people.
Oh, because yeah, it's mostly in furniture. You're right.
Yes, exactly. So to try and find help, hopefully get a good team and see what can happen, see what can be produced.
So what was the hardest thing at that time then for you? What was the hardest thing when you got it started and trying to make
hardest
this?
thing?
Yeah, and trying.
Well, nobody wanted to help me produce this. It's so difficult.
Really?
And you think that with people that have worked with cane, it should be easy, but they are used to doing furniture, not a bag. And a bag is more intricate. Furniture is furniture. It's big.
You have big, and so you have
Yes.
more room for errors. Am I saying?
Yes. With a bag, you have to be very, very careful. You have to know the dimensions.
You have to stick to them.
Exactly. And it's just a lot of work. It takes a lot of time.
How much time would you say it take to make one bag?
Well, if you're making it alone, it can take up to 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's something you should advertise on it and say to everyone, one takes 2 weeks to make.
Yes. So on the website,
Yeah.
we always give a 2 weeks grace period for
Yeah.
it to be ready.
Yeah, but most people, I don't think, realize it takes that long. I think most people will assume it takes a few hours or a few days.
No.
Oh.
The whole process, acquiring the cane, because when the cane comes, it's not this color. It's green. It has to be cleaned.
Okay. Yeah.
And split
Okay.
into different sizes. The sizes I would need, and it's really hard work. You have to
Manually.
yes, and
cut it.
it's manual work. It's total handwork. And you see this part? This means that it's very flat to be able to use to weave that way. And then the sticks.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the cane is about this size, and you have to be able to divide
Divide it in small
into
parts.
very, very small parts.
Whew.
So that's just one process, one small process.
And then there is
Yes.
all the things around the fabric, the
Exactly.
design.
I mean, even still with the cane, that's just one small process. Before you have them cut in frames, you have to do the divisions, the dimensions. Fortunately, I have a good team.
Okay, so now you have a team. How many people
Yes.
work with you now?
Currently, I have 4 permanent workers.
Okay.
I've had a lot of temporal.
Temporary that help when you
Yes.
have a lot of demand.
I actually do need more.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yes, but I kind of can't afford it
Why?
currently.
Because it's cost.
So because it's very, very cost intensive.
Yeah.
Having a big production team.
Yeah, because it takes time
You
to
have
make.
to be ready for it. You have to take care of them and all of that. So and it's part of why I'm still working. I'm still doing.
Yeah, because you need the funding and all
Yes,
that. to
because
actually-
any grant I have applied to, I just didn't work.
Oh, really?
Even an SME loan didn't work.
Okay. Interesting.
So I've been self-funding. Yes, I've kind of given up on all of that, and I'm just self-funding.
So the
to
key
get to a
question
point
is,
where-
when would you like to go full time?
I would love to go full-time today.
So
If I have-
but you need to make more revenue out of it.
Exactly, I need to. And because this is so much work, I compensate very well. Yes. And
Okay, that's the thing
to-
also, yeah.
Yes, to maintain that level of compensation that I give to my workers, it means that I must have that kind of funds. So it's
Or
part
that kind
why,
of demand, because
yes, exactly. So it's part of why I can't increase my
production.
the workers.
Yeah.
Yes, I know I need more, but it's going to take time.
Yeah, because I believe this is something that obviously, like you said, being so unique, it's definitely has the potential to be a hit item.
Yeah.
And that's something that, because currently, what is the price of a bag like that?
So currently this is 1,600 CDs.
1,600 CDs. I don't know how much is that in euro or dollars. I don't know. How
It's
much?
currently about $100.
$100, it's okay. I would have imagined it could have been more expensive. Okay.
Yeah.
For 2 weeks' work, when you think about it, it's not a lot.
Well, yes, but as you're growing, hopefully, because you don't also want to be too expensive,
too expensive,
and because the plan was to make Bobo bags a very, very, very affordable bag. I believe it's affordable.
Yeah, I heard it is.
Yes, I believe it's affordable. I think right now what we need to do is increase our production, but because it's very slow work, very slow fashion, what will help is having more people to more help.
To more help to
more people
execute
to
that.
help. Yes.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah, that's very interesting. My other question for you that I maybe didn't dug into, but just for the sake of understanding well, the cane that you're getting, what was it, other than furniture, where is it from, and what is the use for the cane normally, other than doing bags?
So some years back, cane was used as, what it was used for, it was made into a trap.
Okay.
To be able to catch fish.
Ah.
They didn't even know. So where it's from, they were not aware of what it can be used for. It took some time. So again, the lady I was talking to actually had William interview her because I was very curious about where it's coming from. And the history.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit more about that? Because I have a sense that this otherwise is something that is even neglected or...
It is. I would say it's caught on now, but it took a while. It took a while. And hey, nobody knew that we could even use cane to make Bobo bags, to make bags.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
And basically, so cane normally was used, so you said for fishing, but mostly...
For trap, to be used as, and then what she told me, her name is Auntie Ayengo.
Yes.
So that I would name a collection after her.
Oh, amazing.
What she told me was that they used to burn it.
Burn what?
The cane. It grows like a weed.
Yes, exactly. So it grows
on its own. You don't plant it. It grows on its own. It grows like a weed. So if you have your farms, it's growing, you just cut it and you burn it.
And you feel like it's something that is taking over space for nothing.
Exactly. Meanwhile, this is what it can be used for. It can be used for furniture. It can be used for so many things.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure we still don't know
all we can do with it.
All that we can do with it. It will take time, yes.
So it's basically what you're saying, it's kind of an invasive, durable plant.
Yes, it is.
That most people don't really care about because there is no usage for it.
Yes.
And it's because it's sturdy, I imagine it doesn't die like that. It stays there for a long time. So people cut it all the time.
Yeah, very long. It's a climbing plant. Keeps climbing and you have to keep cutting. So yes.
That's very interesting. So you really made something that nobody wanted to into something that people could want.
Yes.
And the other thing that is quite interesting for me is why did you choose to put Ankara inside? I think it's really a very nice touch like that.
Well, I mean, when you see Ankara, you know it's coming from Africa.
Exactly. And what is your take about all of this concern that people have that Ankara is not really an African fabric?
Okay, so a lot of the fabrics I use are made here.
Or use where?
Batik.
Batik.
A lot of them.
Okay.
Yes. These are handmade fabrics.
And where did you find them? Interesting.
Well, my friend MFA makes them in her house.
Okay. So you also have a contact for that?
Yes.
With ANKA Pay, you can receive your orders directly on Instagram or WhatsApp. Mary gets in touch with the seller and places an order for an outfit directly on Instagram. The seller then goes to ANKA Pay to create a secure, fast, and globally accessible payment link. They simply enter the information about the outfit and the amount, and that's it. The link is then sent to the customer, who can proceed to make the payment easily with their preferred payment method. The seller automatically receives their money in the ANKA wallet and can withdraw it. ANKA Pay. Receive your payments from anywhere in the world.
I tell her what I want, she does it, or she's already made some, or I've come to meet her making. It's very interesting, the whole process. So in the collection I will be releasing in October.
Okay.
It's all batik. Yes.
Very interesting. So you managed to even have that also be something very local and meaningful.
Exactly.
And so for me, when I look at your product, I really feel like what is just lacking is because you do quite good content, like I was saying earlier.
Yes.
Did you ever try to have more, I don't know, maybe people say celebrities or more content done around the bags? Because I feel like this is an item that really needs, a lot of, it could be a luxury item if pushed with enough
yes.
marketing.
But the thing is, you need to have the capital to do that, because all of that, it sounds easy when said, but it's actually very capital intensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive.
Remember I said I'm funding everything.
Everything yourself.
Yes. So definitely it's something that it's in a plan, but it's going to still take some time to get there, because we need to fix production, make sure that it's consistent, and we are able to increase what we make in production, because we are not able, I mean, for the first 3 years.
Yes. You couldn't make a lot of them?
We couldn't make a lot of them.
I didn't know that.
It's this year that we are working on it. So if you look at the social media page, after December, after first week in December, we haven't posted anymore. Because I asked myself, what is the point of
posting
when I don't have products?
People were coming to you to get products.
Because if I really put myself out there, I'm going to have an influx of orders. And am I capable of delivering? And I do not want to be in that
issue.
Where
but you need more money too to be doing more production.
So I needed time off to work on production, to work on improving the consistency. It's taken about almost 9 months.
Wow.
To do because I needed to get the right team.
Yes. Okay.
I needed to get the right team. That was something I had a challenge with for the first 3 years.
Okay. What was the hardest in finding the team?
So this is a lot of math.
A lot of math?
Yes.
Okay.
Making a Bobo bag.
Yeah.
It's a lot of math work. You need to understand dimensions. You need to understand math. Let me just put it that way. Simple as that. And also finding the right manpower, because this is totally...
Yeah, it's physical.
Yes, it's physical. So finding the right manpower that can do the math and get it right.
Yeah, and be precise.
Because you might find a manpower and you can't... You look at the box and it's slanted. Or it's, not as... And I will reject all those. Anything that isn't up to standard. So it's already slow and it just slows you down more. Okay,
so you need to keep trying.
Exactly. So this year has been about that. We know there's still room for improvement in terms of finding the right team. We have the right team, but it's not enough.
You're not enough. You feel like you need to improve on that too.
We still need more, because this is totally handwork, 100%. So it's more like the more people you have helping, but not just anyone, people with the right skills. Even though the one that go training, you still need some basics for them. So the more of that you have, then the more you can produce. True.
That's very interesting. And so basically that's why in your operations, like you still don't have a lot of problem in payment or shipping, because you didn't do a lot of volume yet, actually.
Yes.
Even though you've been using us for quite some time already, if I'm not mistaken. For how long have you been using ANKA?
I joined ANKA, then AfriAnka.
Yes, AfriAnka at the time.
Yes, in 2020, June 2020. And I don't know if you studied, the moment I joined, everybody was so excited.
Yeah, because your products are very beautiful. So that's one of the things I remember.
I was overwhelmed at the end of the year.
Really?
I was like, yes. And even with that, when I look at that now, it's still not enough volume. It wasn't.
Really? Still?
It wasn't at the beginning. Even though it's overwhelming because I didn't have a team
in the production.
Yes.
So when you joined us, you were really overwhelmed by the demand,
Yes,
and then you
yes.
adjusted.
And I delivered.
Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
yeah,
want
delivered.
to disappoint.
Yeah.
I delivered on time.
Yeah.
I delivered. Everybody was happy. Would give me good reviews.
Yeah.
You know. Yes, but keeping up the pace was another story. I needed to take a step back, which I didn't get the opportunity to do till this year, and work on the production, the consistency, getting the right team. Yeah.
That's very interesting for me because you're typically the problem, you have the good problem to have. That your product is so good and your content also, because I must say, I think the product is beautiful and we always say it, but you made an effort in the content to matching it. So I just want to dive a bit more in how did you select the content? Do you yourself spend a lot of time on social media following content of influencer or fashion, or do you just naturally have an idea of what you want for the product?
I have an idea of what I want. I'm a creative.
Ah, okay. How do you maintain your creativity? How do you maintain your inspiration like that? Like, do you read, I don't know, magazines? Do you go on social media? How do you
Well,
keep...
social media definitely will inspire you with some of the content you will see, but you still want yours to be original. You know? Yes, so you add or you take away something and just make it your own.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm a big fan of original.
Of what?
Original.
What is original?
Like, I'm a big fan of original.
Oh,
As in
originality.
something being, yes, originality. So including content.
You
But
know,
I also, my photographer,
yeah, William,
videographer,
that is here.
is also a very creative person. And I believe that I wouldn't have been able to
Do all of that.
what I did or what he did. Yes.
Without him.
It's all, yes. Yeah.
That's interesting that you put the emphasis on originality. One thing that we noticed, and I'm taking the explanation of Paul Graham, so it's actually someone from the startup world that explained that originality is a function of curiosity. People want to be original, but they don't do the effort of being curious and consuming different things, because your originality is just an output of the curiosity and the deepness in which you go into things. So can you maybe give an example of how deep you went? So I see that even doing this whole work with the cane is already very deep work and innovation, but do you have like something that you can give us an example of the curiosity that you have every day? I don't know, for example, what was the last social media account that you follow that you like that is very different?
Okay, I'll say Pinterest.
Pinterest?
Yes.
You spend a lot of time in Pinterest. Ah, interesting.
I'll say Pinterest because I'll just go there sometimes and just type bags.
Bags and just what is there?
Bag content, you know, video content, and see what pops up. And
and you spend
but
time
that
consuming.
has been, I think, just this year.
Okay.
Just this year.
And before how were you?
That, maybe my love for movies. I tend to notice everything.
In the movie?
Yes. I tend to notice what they are wearing. I tend to notice every single detail, how the bag looks.
Yeah.
How was it made? What went into it? You know, I love movies.
Okay, can you give me maybe an example of a movie that you like particularly and that you inspired you a lot in terms of movie? Like, do you have any movie in mind?
In terms of fashion?
Yeah, fashion, bags, anything else? Because, yeah, all of these seem connected. Maybe can you give you an example of a movie that you think is very inspiring for you, that really, maybe the aesthetics?
I wish I don't have to mention the movies because some of them are not.
It's okay. That's an interesting thing. Please, come on.
Okay, was it Gentleman? That's the one that came out this year. Yeah, The Gentleman.
What is it? The Gentleman.
Gentleman.
I don't know.
Yes. Like, I noticed everything.
In it?
Everything she was wearing. I noticed the bag. I'm like,
this is nice.
This inspires me.
Really?
Yes.
So the movie is just called Gentleman?
Yes. There is the movie and then there's a series. I think what we're watching was the series. It's a little violent.
Okay, no problem. No, but it's interesting that even in that you find inspiration.
Yes, even in that I find inspiration. Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I completely get that. Could I, if I were to ask you, basically, now that you've been doing all of this process, what is the thing that you liked the most in the process? What is the thing you like the most in creating Bobo Bags?
In creating Bobo Bags.
Yeah.
Just when I think about the combinations of colors, the eco leather, how it will come together. I picture it in my head, and then I have the fabrics. I have pieces of the eco leather.
And when it
and
goes to...
yes, that process is my favorite part. Because I know what I
you
have
like
an
the
idea.
creating. You really like the
Yes,
thing
I
of
love the
creating.
creating. I love creating.
So you wouldn't say it's making the content. You wouldn't say it's selling. It's
No,
really
it's the
creating. You really
yes.
like the creating
Yeah.
part. Okay, so if you could just do creating all day, and
If
someone was selling
I
for
could
you,
do the creating and someone was dealing with the selling for me, perfect.
really, that's
Because
interesting.
It's quite difficult trying to wear all
All
those
the
hats.
arts, yeah, because you're doing everything currently
Everything, yeah.
as a
Yeah,
business
and
owner.
it shouldn't be that way. Sometimes it doesn't make you do your best, you know. So
Okay, I cannot really conclude without asking you two things. First, as you said, you're juggling a job, a family, and the business. How do you prioritize? What is your framework for prioritizing how you allocate your time?
if my work people are watching this interview,
if your work people, no, I don't know.
be watching.
It shouldn't be watching. Okay,
Okay,
yeah. I don't want to
so,
put you in trouble, but how do you prioritize?
A year ago, 1st July, I was put in a unit called the Night Market Economy. It's still enforcement.
Okay.
And I'll say I got used to it at the ending of last year. And I'm still doing it this year. So what that does is that I work 4 nights.
Oh, really?
3 to 4 nights in a week.
Okay.
So that means I have 3 days.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
that's
when do you sleep then?
Oh, you still make time to sleep. So I know that after my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday work, I just need to not do anything on the Monday. Just rest. And then the other days, I can,
do a bit more.
Yes, do a bit more. So I would say that schedule has been really helpful. Before then, I will always burn out because it's just
you're always
doing
tired.
too much.
Yeah.
Yes, I told you I had to start
Yeah.
taking vacations very seriously,
maintain
and
it.
hopefully, I mean. That was also a good thing because
Yeah.
that was what was also helping with inspiration for me when I travel and I'm not dealing with work, I'm not dealing with family. I'm able to open up myself to get inspired.
More really,
Yes.
That's very interesting. And it translates nicely to my next question because we talked about your inspiration, the business, what you like, what you dislike. Just to conclude is, why did you choose to export? Because we realize that in Ghana and generally in Africa, that's very rare, people that think about exporting. What got you to come for the first place on AfriAnka and trying to sell online?
It's like we have so much here, and there is no way of really getting seen out there. What I loved about, about AfriAnka.
Yes.
I had during my first year, I had orders from Martinique.
Oh!
I'm like, I had to Google it. I'm
I
like,
had to look at the place. You discovered new places.
yes. Guadeloupe.
Yes.
I mean, I can mention other countries, Belgium, Switzerland, but I know these countries. But these other countries, I'm like, wow.
You're surprised to go sell there?
Yes, I was surprised. Very surprised. So I was very intrigued.
Yeah. And how did you feel when you discovered this country and you realized that your product were going all the way there?
I was just elated. I was so happy.
Really?
Yes. And up to today, I still don't have my own personal website.
Yes, of course. It's a lot of work and money.
It's a lot of work. And I'm like, well, ANKA is able to find ways of marketing to all these places. And it's just really about finding the right channels. Because we have something beautiful here. We have a lot of beautiful things here. And there's no way of marketing for the rest of the world to see. Yes. And
that makes complete sense.
And that is what you're doing. And it's really a deal breaker. Like,
thank you very much, honestly. In reality, it's also a function of how good your products are. It's because your product is so unique and so good also that it's that easy to echo it globally. like one thing we keep saying, and I don't know if you attempt with our white paper report, like I mentioned, that we explain, is that because your product is unique and your content is good, it makes our marketing that much easier. Okay. People tend to think that we are great at marketing, but you will ask some people that just joined, they will tell you, I have no traffic on ANKA, I don't get any sales. And we then tell them it's because your product is not that different, maybe the content is not that good. So I also want to give it back to you because you make our job easy. And you're a great example also sometimes that I even give when people tell me, I want to do something. What do you mean by doing something different? What do you mean by doing content of quality? We can push to your page and say, okay, this is someone that is doing the effort to do that. So please continue doing it. It's really appreciated. And that's also why we can have you go all over the world. And I'm pretty confident that you could do a lot more with your products because not only, like I said, it's unique, but it's also going with all the right principle of operating. The content quality, the quality of the production that you mentioned, that you try to be strict with it, and also the mindset of really delivering on your promises.
Yeah.
So yes, please continue. And on our end, it's really what we aim for, to have more brands like you. So I'm very, very happy to hear that. Generally, the last two questions I ask is, if someone were to start today and had only $1,000 to start their brand, what would you recommend they spend their money on?
If I'm just starting and I have $1,000, I am probably going to, and I want to start a Bobo Bags, and I have $1,000.
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of things I couldn't have done differently, but I think I would have tried to manage the money and spend a certain amounts on production, acquiring what I need, acquiring the people, the raw materials, and all of that. And then put some into marketing it, because what's the point of having a product when you can't sell it?
So you would put marketing after,
but marketing is like, I feel like I would have spent more on marketing because marketing is such a big deal. From my experience, it's such a big deal.
So when you mean marketing, you mean content or you mean advertising? It's not because
all of it.
People tend to mix the two, but in my experience, people overspend in advertising and underspend in content.
All of it. Creating the content, finding the right people, be it influencers or models, and the PR and all of that, just doing what it takes to get the product seen. Because you can create a beautiful product and it's just going to sit on the shelf. So I imagine, do you have an ideal list or dream list of influencers you would like to work with? I do. I have some.
Okay, you can tell the name. Like you say, manifesting. Who would you love to see have a Bobo bag then?
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Are you sure? What if they are not Ghanaian?
It's okay. We don't care. Like, who would you love to see where you're...
What about if it's not just about influencers? It's about certain key celebrities as well.
You can tell me. Yeah, tell me.
Beyonce is number one.
Beyonce. You want Beyonce, of course. That's an easy one. I can see the vision.
She's
I can
number
see
one.
Yeah.
Number one.
Okay. So right after Beyonce, who else are we targeting?
Well,
Kelly Rowland too. Okay, that works. Any other Destiny Child? Are we going for Michelle too, or no?
No.
Who else are you looking at? Who else are you looking at that is not Beyonce?
Sabrina Carpenter.
So who?
Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter. I don't even know who that is.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm going to hold it right there. I don't feel proud
Why?
of myself that I'm not mentioning any African.
Oh, it's okay. But that's also because I think you want to sell globally, so you think about global people.
Exactly.
Okay.
I found my products on Good Morning Washington through a concept store. I stock here. I stock at the lot.
The lot, yeah, of course.
Yes. And it was just something I was so excited about, and the kind of attention that's brought. And I was just thinking about it. It's like, I really need to market this in a way that puts me
there at the right place.
Yes, at the right place. Because as I said, you can have a beautiful product.
Yeah. No, you really remind me of one of the other people we had on this podcast that is La Falaise. I don't know if you know her. La Falaise Dion. She did Corey necklaces and Corey accessories that was worn by Beyonce. Multiple times, actually. And she has also the same unique product and focus like you. So I really believe that, she got contacted by Beyonce team because of the content she was doing.
Okay.
And she was putting. So to go back to your initial point, I didn't say anything when you said it, but you should keep on continuing posting. You never know.
Okay.
It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
True.
And it's better to keep posting the content you have, keep posting and creating and enlarging your brand, because it will attract also the opportunities to either get the funding, the marketing, the attention to fix all your other problems.
Okay.
I understand that it's a very, very painful part in production, and that's why I really respect doing it. But if you can, please continue at least posting once a week, twice a week, to keep growing your brand, because I really believe, you're getting your product known and the brand known. You would be surprised who we can end up with in the end. Okay? All right. I think we covered pretty much everything. Anything else you want to mention?
I love your outfit. I really
Thank you. Ibrahim Fernandez. It's an Ivorian brand for those that are interested. Available on ANKA Marketplace, just like Bobo Bags.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for listening. Follow Juliet and Bobo Bags as soon as you can. And exactly, follow her. And if you like the bags, buy them. That's the best kind of support you can give. And we appreciate your time and listening all the way to here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Juliet.
All right.
Bye, everyone.